Hello, welcome back. Well, great that still so many people are there. My name is Alexander. I'm from, let's say, the German part of HEALS, so the Society for Healthy Aging and Prevention, and also a member of the board of ELA and chairing this last session before the breakout session. So being German, I, of course, have the duty to be more punctual, and so we'll start right away, please, with the science, aging clocks, and clinical applications from Alexander Zhavoronkov. Please share your screen.
Hello, great pleasure to be with you. So I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So thank you, HEALS, for inviting me to speak. It's a great pleasure to be with you. Many of you are great friends. I'm dialing in from Hong Kong, China. So it is 3:45 a.m. in the morning, but I really love this and would be very happy to present. So I'm presenting in the capacity of the Chief Longevity Officer of a company called Deep Longevity, which was acquired by a company called Regent Pacific, which was founded by Jim Mellon, and it's publicly traded on a Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Hence, there was going to be a disclaimer, so not an investment advice. Don't buy the stock based on this presentation anyway. I'm also the Chief Executive Officer of a company called Insilico Medicine, which is focused on target discovery, novel target discovery, and small molecule generation using AI. Many of our projects are also in age-related targets, and you probably know us as one of the partners for multiple pharmaceutical companies pursuing senescence, fibrosis, and many other age-associated types of biology. However, we spun off Deep Longevity out of Insilico to pursue the business of commercialization and research of aging clocks. So a topic very dear to our heart that we've heard quite a bit about today. So I'm going to be covering deep biomarkers of human aging from research to clinical applications. With me today was supposed to be Polina Momoshina, who is listed as a presenter. She is currently working on another presentation at the same time, so I'll be presenting for this 15 minutes. So as you know, the fundamental problem of nature and of human life is that we come into this world, we reproduce, we reach our peak, and then we reproduce, then we take care of our young and gracefully decline and die, sometimes not really gracefully. Unlike the other animals, we also realize that we are aging and dying, and we adopt accordingly. So unfortunately, there's not that much we can do about it, and prevention might help us a little bit, but we will still decline and die. And that's why it's a good idea to think about a moonshot where we track, repair, and improve. And for that, we do need aging clocks. And we need aging clocks not only to track the rate of aging, we need the aging clocks to track the efficacy of interventions. So we do not need to wait until humans die. And now we do not actually need to go after animals in many cases. We can work with human data and see which interventions are working in humans. And that's why I really deeply admire what Edward, the previous speaker, is doing with actuarial pharmacology. He can identify molecules that may lead to substantial life extension and also prevention and decrease of the rate of in various age-associated diseases. So we can now test some of those interventions on humans because those are already approved drugs. And we can also use aging clocks for insurance companies and also in the clinic to identify longevity bottlenecks. So where you're aging faster. So as you know, there's been multiple clocks that were published since 2012, 2013. So from the pioneering work of Stephen Horvath in 2013, his methylation clock is 3.6 years accurate and very robust. And there has been many other aging clocks published since then. AI can help in many ways. As you know, since 2013, 2014, there's been a revolution in deep learning. So deep neural networks are outperforming humans in image recognition, text recognition, voice recognition. And since they're so good at prediction and generalizing, they're also great for predicting age. And also generating new concepts. So generative learning allows you to generate novel biological and non-biological data types with very high precision and with the desired characteristics. So these are deep fakes. Those humans have been invented by AI. They do not exist in nature. And they were invented using either templates faces or completely from scratch using descriptions. So it's pretty cool, and that's 2017 work. In 2021, those images are indistinguishable from reality. And they also carry quite a bit of biological data. So you can do the same thing with biological data. You can use generative reinforcement learning for biological age prediction and monitoring, synthetic data generation, biomarker development and discovery, target ID, real-world data analytics, and even mental health, depression, motivation, behavioral modification. If I do have the time today, I'll cover one of our works in that area as well, in mental health. And you can see that predictive AI, when you combine it with generative AI, can actually identify age and sex and gender on those generated faces. It can do the same on synthetic biological data. So if you're generating transcriptomic, proteomic, or blood tests, you can do the same thing. And at Deep Longevity, we developed this concept where we train deep neural networks on multiple data types to predict just one feature, age. And we train usually on healthy longitudinal cohorts of healthy patients, healthy people, with data coming from screening experiments or a large longitudinal data banks. And we do not prioritize one data over the other. So of course, my favorite data types are transcriptomics and proteomics. They are very rich in targets. Of course, I also like metabolomic data and combination of transcriptome, proteome, methylome, and metabolome. Unfortunately, there are not that many data types or data sets available from large population cohorts yet, not over large timescales and time spans, but there is some. So we train deep neural networks on this data as well, but mostly we train on blood tests and surveys, behavioral data. We use those deep neural networks. They are not a black box anymore. So you can deconvolute them into pathways, targets, causal graphs, synthetic data. And we've developed multiple clocks using this approach. So first one was blood test data. So 2016 publication that we made in Aging. Mean absolute error of that clock was 5 to 6 years. You've seen that Morgan Levin did something similar later on, a few years later, but using age as an input feature, which is currently, well, we don't use age as an input feature here. It's coming from other features in the blood test. But if you want to make it more robust, you can also add age as an input feature. We have tissue-specific transcriptomic aging clock published and patented, microbiome aging clock, bone aging clocks, facial images, physical activity. So pretty much all the data that is changing in time, all the data types can be used to build deep neural network-based predictors of age. And now you can also combine them together. So the first paper we published in this area was published in 2016. We used 62,000 more or less healthy people to train 21 deep neural networks that we assembled into a stacking model and predicted patient age with about 5.5 years mean absolute error. And there we started noticing that people who are older than their chronological age usually have some kind of problem, some kind of comorbidity or disease. And people who were predicted to be significantly younger than their chronological age, they were very fit. And we published another paper called Population-Specific Biomarkers of Human Aging in 2018, where we compared 3 populations, Canadians, Koreans, Eastern Europeans, and also we did a combined predictor and tested those predictors on NHANES longitudinal data set in the US, where there is mortality data as well. And we showed that if you are predicted to be 5 years or older than your chronological age, the probability of dying of any cause, your hazard ratio, goes up significantly. If you are predicted to be 5 years or younger than your chronological age, your probability of dying of any cause goes down. So it's great for all kinds of life insurance companies and life insurance applications. And also, you know, the date you die is the most important date in your life. So it's a good idea to know this and figure out how to postpone it or prepare for it. So it's a good idea to use those clocks for mortality prediction as well. We also published several papers showing that we can now track various interventions or several behavioral traits using aging clocks. And we showed that people who are smoking, either self-reported or Chantix users, they're predicted to be significantly older than their chronological age using blood tests up until they're 70. And after they're 70 to 90, they're actually predicted to be younger than if they're smoking. So it means that there is already genetic resilience to aging showing up, or we just didn't get a very balanced data set there. We also have a microbiomic aging clock, which is 5.9 years accurate. So now we can predict your age using gut microbiome. That was the first aging clock based on this data type published in peer-reviewed literature. We can also, using this clock, we can now see which bacteria make you look, quote unquote, younger or older to the deep neural network. And we've developed several interventions that make you look younger. And basically that kill those bacteria that we call senonegative, sorry, senopositive, the ones that make you look older. We also recently published the most accurate methylation aging clock using deep learning. So that's 2.7 years accurate. And on testing, so to my knowledge, that's the most accurate one. And we are using it in a variety of applications and now trying to combine it with a transcriptomic aging clock. And we started commercializing this technology a while ago. So I think that commercialization is the path to innovation because you learn a lot from the market in a while. So we started partnering with clinics. Currently, 12 clinics, including Human Longevity and several other big ones, very famous ones, are deploying our biological aging reports that provide aging clocks, a variety of aging clocks to the patients based on different data types. And again, we do not discriminate different data types. We even take in psychological data, behavioral data, activity data, and provide you with a weighted average. If you have a great clock that you would like to test, we can also test it in a context. We have an app that also does the same thing on your iPhone. And we have a website-based system that allows you to have maximum functionality and track your aging and time. So great tools for quantified self. We started partnering with insurance companies and also, most importantly, with pharmaceutical companies as well to help them with clinical trials enrollment. So those reports allow you to see the patients who are either more fit for their age and you want them to enroll in your experimental group because they are more likely to survive or to survive longer, or you use those clocks for clinical trials monitoring to understand whether your drug is affecting some data type or not. So you get the vector and the directionality for multiple data types. So those aging clocks provide very kind of simple, stupid method to test if your drug is affecting the microbiome in a specific way, or transcriptome, blood transcriptome, or even imaging data. And We also started working with clinics to provide personalized longevity protocols. The workhorse algorithm there is the blood age. So we take very simple blood tests, something that you get from a physician anyway. So I've seen that Slovenia is planning to do a pilot. We can actually do this using an app. You can do it for free and use something that your doctor would prescribe anyway, 31 markers or 39 markers to get a little bit higher visibility into what is happening with in your blood. Very simple process. Take a blood test in any lab, request a report, review the report, make the changes, follow up. The system also, so I'm going to skip a bunch of slides there, but the system also allows you to generate yourself in the past and shows you which markers do you need to change, even though they are within the reference range. In order for you to look younger to the deep neural net. For example, to achieve the goal of reducing 5 to 10 years in your biological age based on blood by adjusting, glucose, iron, cholesterol, albumin, etc., using either diet or supplements or something that your doctor would prescribe. So I'm not sure. So do I still have a few minutes to discuss psychological age, or that might be skipped?
No, sorry, I'm afraid. There would be time for one quick question.
That. So I just want you to take a look at the paper later on, if on your own free time. So we also apply deep neural networks to tracking human psychological changes and subjective age in time, because at the end of the day, the way you feel, so if you feel 30 when you are 50, it's actually a very good marker. So you are yourself a very good sensor. And we can now predict this feature from a bunch of surveys. Unfortunately, you have never been older in your life, so it's very difficult to ask this kind of question. So how old you are, and you usually say that you are younger. But we showed that those features, psychological age, subjective age, are also very predictive of mortality and hazard ratio. And now we can also show you how to change those. So the best way to do this is, of course, to increase your longevity expectations and think that you are not going to die anytime soon. So that's the lesson learned from today. Lots of papers published. And yeah, so here I want to kind of stop. We're trying to create an ecosystem between the clinics and life insurance companies. Clinics are signing up. The biggest clinic that we are collaborating with is Human Longevity. They also invested in deep longevity. So Craig Venter's company and led by Wei Wu He. And if you are a Human Longevity client, you can request a core lab test and an age report, a biological age report as well. And since there are multiple physicians who really want to learn how to use those clocks in the clinic and see how they can be applied for clinical trials, we started an aging longevity medicine course for physicians. Currently, it's more than 2,500 people who signed up. More than half of them are doctors, and you can take this course if you want just to take it for free. Send me a note. We will send you a code. It's just Udemy requires you to put some number, minimal number for the course to put it on the platform. We're going to make it free soon on a separate platform. So thank you very much, and please register for the agingpharma.org. Last year, it was the largest conference on aging, to my knowledge, 2,600 people, 4 days. This year, it's going to be at Columbia University, University of Copenhagen. So Morten Scheibe Knudsen is the main chair, and we are sponsoring and co-organizing. So thank you very much, and would love to collaborate.
Thank you very much for your commitment and also for your energy at this time of the hour of the night. Yeah, thank you very much.